You're listening to the icandemy podcast, the podcast for people who can but don't know how. This is where you get actionable steps to turn vague dreams into blissful realities. And I'm your host, Omoshola Victoria Wolabi. So let's get started. Are you on the verge of quitting your online business? Wait. Before you do that, hear this. If you have been struggling to attract clients, I totally understand how that must feel. I was also at the verge of quitting as well because I just felt everything I was doing was making no sense, attracting no clients, and I was so broke and such in a state of despair. But fortunately, I cracked the code. I got the code and I'm about to hand it to you for free. So if you've been struggling to attract clients into your business and you're just at the verge of giving it all up, try this first. Head on over to learn.icandemy.org, where I share with you how to make your first $10,000 online as a brand new coach, even if you have no social media following. Yes. No huge email list and no raving testimonials yet. Head on over to see how you can create a powerful system that works to attract clients and leads for you on demand. Head on over to learn.icandemy.org to get started. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the icandemy podcast. How was your week? Let me know. Head on over to www.icandemy.org and use the tool there to send me a voice message or send me an email to hello@icandemy.org. Welcome to another episode. And on this episode, we're going to be talking about the match is fixed. Yes, the match is fixed. Now, what do I mean by that? What is match fixing? Now, the dictionary definition of match fixing, especially in sports, is the action or the practice of dishonestly determining the outcome of a match before it's played. Okay? So it means even before, I think what makes matches or tournaments really exciting is the uncertainty in there, is the fact that we don't know which team is going to walk away with the prize. We don't know the outcome, right? And that is what feels that adrenaline. That is what feels the excitement. That is why we buy those tickets. We go there, we engage, we're excited because we just hope. That element of hope, we all dangle to that element of hope that just maybe our team may be the team that's walking away with the prize. Except in this economy that we operate out of as the sons and daughters of the Most High God, the match is fixed and there is nothing dishonest about it. Now, I was watching a documentary, Bad Sport, on Netflix. I thought it was really interesting. The first episode of the documentary. And the story is centered around an unbelievably talented basketball player called Stephen Headache Smith. Headache is his nickname, right? Because he literally gives his opponents a headache anytime they play on the court, right? And the whole story centers around him, basically, and how unbelievably talented he was. And to the extent that he had this gift for basketball that he could literally almost determine how the game was going to end up, right? And then somebody identified this gift, right? Obviously, he got himself into some, unfavorable situations where he was caught up between a rock and a hard place and he needed some money. And because of this gift that he had, somebody manipulated the gift and made it for their own personal gain. So in this documentary, if you haven't watched it, it's really interesting. You need to go see it on Netflix. A guy reaches out to him. I think he owed some guy money who was a gambler, and he said, you know what? You're unbelievably talented on the court. We need to make sure that every game, we win the game or we lose the game, but the outcome, the match is fixed. And they would go and gamble away or bet in favor or against the match. But they had an insider, right, which was Stephen Headache Smith, the insider, who would either play very well to make sure that they get the result that they had already anticipated was going to happen, or he played terribly to make sure that they lost so that the outcome they had predetermined before the match was achieved, right? So basically that's match fixing, which is a crime, right? That is a crime. In the world of sports, That is a no-no. People literally go to jail for things like that. And we understandably so, because it takes away the excitement. It removes the element of the spirit of sportsmanship out of the sport. Like it literally sucks the life out of it. So I totally understand why that would be a crime, right? But unfortunately, Stephen Hedrick Smith was the ace in this whole scenario. But guess what? He didn't even make a quarter. What is even a quarter? Even 1% of the money that was going down behind the scenes that the other guys were making from this match being fixed. He was just given $20,000, while those guys were cleaning out like $500,000, $1,000,000, right? So, but he was the ace, but he didn't understand. He didn't realize how important he was in the grand scheme of things. So what am I talking about? Now, when I say the match is fixed, sometimes, not even sometimes, like this whole last week for me had been a very challenging one in terms of, you just start to think, if it looks like nothing is happening, it feels like you're doing all of these things and nothing is happening, right? But then I remind myself, because now I know better, that the match is fixed. It doesn't matter how I feel, what I think, what it looks like. The only thing that matters is what I believe. And what I believe is, either way, whether I go up, go down, sideways, whatever way it looks like, I win. Okay, family, let's face it. We've all felt pain. We've suffered the losses. You know what it's like to want something so bad, but not see a path to its accomplishment. The question, however, is, do you know how to pick yourself up and move on despite what has happened? This is what I share with you inside of my new book, Good Medicine for the Crushed Spirit, a practical guide to helping you find purpose when adversity strikes. Inside this book, you will find personal stories, relatable biblical tales, and anecdotes that prove you are never alone in your despair and will inspire you to turn pain, discomfort, disappointment, or setbacks into something positive that works for you. So if you're ready to change your life in meaningful and purposeful ways, get your copy of this book today and let the transformation begin. Yeah, the match is fixed. I win. Why do I have the confidence to show up like that? Because in Genesis, when God was laying out after the fall what was going to happen, moving forward, we hear him clearly tell the spirit in the serpent, right? Her seed will crush your head. You bruise his heel, no doubt, but her seed will crush your head. So it means no matter what happens, we already know the outcome. We know how this story ends. So I just want to encourage you today, right? To not only focus on what you are seeing. What you see may be unpleasant, unfavorable, may not make any sense, right? It just looks like either way you go, losses just waiting around the corner for you. But that's not the truth. That's the fact. That's not the truth, because this match is fixed when we operate in this economy, right? Because there's nothing God created that he created to fail. In fact, he ends it. He created it. He finishes the creation and then he backs it up, right? And it goes back to the very beginning. So it means that it already knows how the match is going to end. In the same way, when we know that this match is fixed, this match of life that we are playing is fixed, either way it goes, I win. Because most times in life, what we don't realize is the way up is actually down. I remember when I used to work as a career advisor at a college in Johannesburg. I had this friend and a colleague at the time. Then I just had my second child at the time. And I think she was still looking for a child then. She had been married for a while. She was like, oh, Victoria, I really want a child. I really want a child. And in that moment, what it looked like was I was winning because I already had 2 children and she had none. So it looked to her, from her lens, from her perception at the time, that it was not working for her. And even if she were to have a child, I mean, it would be so long, because it was something that really kept her up at night, right? Now, what happened, as soon as I had my second child, she got pregnant. And then she had her first child, right? And then I left that job. I relocated to a different country, but we kept in touch. And then when I got to where I live now in New Zealand, I had another child, right? So that brings my total number to 3. And my friend just had 1. right? But we're cool, right? And then I see on Facebook that she's pregnant. And I'm like, yeah, guess what? She has twins. Now, we even. She has 3 children. I have 3 children. It doesn't really matter who had what child first. Like what I'm saying to you, the match is fixed. At that time, when she was pouring her heart out to me saying, oh, she really wants a child, if she had been told then just to relax, it doesn't really matter that I was 2 children ahead of her. The match was everything was eventually going to even out, right? She wouldn't have believed it. She wouldn't have believed it. So it is not about what you see now. Your behavior should be driven by what you believe. So if you're trying to grow that business and it doesn't look like it's moving, right? That relationship doesn't look like it's going anywhere. If you keep up the faith and the belief that you have made the right choice, because I believe before you find yourself in that situation, right? Because this is the thing about desire. When we want something so bad, we have to make sure that that desire is actually a God-given desire. If it is a God-given desire, I can almost assure you that the match is fixed. Just keep being consistent, dedicated, keep on going. Do not despise the days of small beginnings. And you will see at the end of the day, the outcome will just start to manifest itself so beautifully. You won't have to do anything extra. You will just see that as you move on faithfully, consistently in what you're doing, all the other things that makes the game, that determines the outcome of the game, starts to come around you. So in this economy, when I say the match is fixed, it is not a crime. It's just the way things go, okay? So the match is fixed and is fixed in your favor. Whether you go up, down, sideways, you win. I want you to start operating your life from that perspective, that either way it goes, you win. This is not a bad sport. In this economy, match fixing is actually the way to go, okay? Because we have been promised that either way, we know the end result. We win. We win. And here's the thing about challenges and adversity. Imagine somebody drowning in a pool of water in a swimming pool, right? And there are lifeguards around. What do the lifeguards do? They jump in the pool to save the person. So for a split second, it looks as if they're also going to be consumed by that situation. No, but they're there as a rescue mission. So when we have a purpose and a calling to go and rescue the world or do something significant in the world, or even insignificant, because it's not every purpose that is significant according to the terms of what the world terms as significant, right? We have to get into the trenches of that situation in order to effect the change. And it is brutal sometimes. It is painful sometimes. But there's no way you can save somebody as a lifeguard if you don't get in the water with them. Okay? Look at it like that. So either way, I just wanted to encourage you today to keep on believing that the match is fixed in your favor. Okay? Everything is going to work out to your advantage, for your good, eventually, if we don't give up. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Let me know what you think about it. Head on over to www.icandemy.org to send us a message. And what are you waiting for? If you haven't joined us inside of Mogul Mindset, I can't believe what you're waiting for. It is time to level up, and I'm here to support you. Thank you so much for listening. As always, keep on shining. This episode is sponsored by our very own Mogul Mindset Training. Are you ready to embrace new experiences, see opportunities where you thought there was none, and totally surprise yourself? Because you can by unleashing the power of your mind. Mogul Mindset System is a 5-step system that helps you retrain your mind to work with you and not against you, so you can awaken your inner giant, 10x your impact, your income, and become truly unstoppable. The truth is, you, my friend, have a superpower, your creative genius. And I'm here to make that power multiply manyfold so you can get past fear, self-doubt, and finally start working and thriving in your life and business. Ready to unleash your superpowers? I thought you would. Head over to mogul.icandemy.org. That's mogul.icandemy.org to learn more. So there you have it. Thank you so much for listening. And for more content like this, follow us on our social media handles. On Facebook, it's @icandemy, the Facebook page. On Instagram, it's at icandemy. Or come say hello over on my personal page. On Instagram, it's at Omoshola Speaks. On Facebook, it's Victoria Wolabi. Feel free to reach out, introduce yourself, say hello. I love meeting you. And if you have any stories that you feel will inspire another woman to action, I want to hear from you. I really do. I love hearing from you. Send me an email to hello@icandemy.org. So it's hello@icandemy.org.